So this is our pole vault group this year. We had freshmen, I can do this because we have a small group. We had freshman Ben Rambo, Ben Pease, Caleb Laundry, Kyle Downham, Miles Hoerth, Mason Bartle, and Ian Matthew. Ian Matthew and Mason are two seniors. Miles is a junior. Kyle is a sophomore, and the other two are, the other three are freshmen. Typically, what I try to do is I try to get a couple jumpers in each grade, and as you can see, we have a little bit in each grade. We started off the season with a few more. There are a few that are not here. We had some injuries throughout the season that, but we stayed strong with a good group. Speaking to my freshmen specifically, this is a very talented freshman group. I hope that you guys stick together. You can see, especially in these later meets in the year, there's something there, and I think there's going to be some really special performances in the coming years with you guys. I really hope you stick up with this event. I know, pole vault is not an easy event. It's probably the most technical event in all of track and field, and so it can be frustrating at times. The season, a lot of times, you're up and down. You'll figure out one problem, and it'll present another problem for you. And you guys found that out. And with this being their first year in pole vault, I think they handled those ups and downs really well. They were very responsive to coaching, and I think you guys are going to be very successful. Kyle Downham is our sophomore. Brings a lot of speed to the event. He's a very fast kid. Obviously not the tallest kid in the world. A lot of times you want to be a little bit taller for pole vault, but he makes up for it with aggressiveness and speed. He is completely unafraid of pole vaulting. He will come in and whatever pole weight I tell him to go on, if I'm telling him to go on a bigger pole, he will do it, no questions asked. He will just jump. It doesn't matter to him. He just jumps. And I like that attitude. I really like his work ethic. He's an extremely hard worker. He's a very intelligent kid. He was on the Jimmy Kimmel show. I don't know if you guys knew that, but we have a celebrity in the room. So he's a very intelligent kid and works very hard. I think he's got a bright future. Miles Hoerth is our junior vaulter. He is also the school record holder. Right now, currently ranked third in the state. Pole vault is the third best vault in the state at 14 feet 9 inches. He's a stadium record holder, multiple meet record holder this year. Miles' life revolves around vaulting, and everything else kind of comes second. Would I be wrong about that? Sometimes to a fault, I have to back him down from vaulting sometimes and just take a breath and back away from pole vault. Miles is incredibly talented. He's a very hard worker. He has all the intangibles that you would want as far as a pole vaulter goes. The season didn't end in the great, in the way he wanted it to, I'm sure. Being the third-ranked vaulter in the state, he had a hamstring injury at conference relays that he worked extremely hard at coming back from. Did multiple rounds of therapy. Pretty much every day, really tried to come back, and it just didn't work out. It wasn't in the cards. I think he's going to learn from that. I think he is going to come back bigger, better next year. I think the sky's the limit for him. He can be as talented as he wants to be in pole. My seniors, Ian Matthew, Mason Bartle. I'll start with Ian. Ian came to pole vault as a sophomore. He is a two-time JV conference champion. Ian has never seen a run-up, and we call your runway running up to your vault before your plant. Call that your run-up. He has never seen a run-up he didn't think he could take up in the air. In fact, I was telling Miles and Mason a couple of weeks ago that I don't think I have ever seen Ian fail on an attempt. Meaning, I have never seen him run up to the box and just stop or let the pole slide through your hands or not take the jump up into the air. And to a vault, there are probably several times where he should have given up on a vault, but he didn't. Ian's crazy. Ian is crazy. He has taken up more vaults where coaches just go, how did he take that up? He was 3 feet out or three feet underneath the vault. How did he get that up in the air? And I said, Ian just vaults. He He doesn't care. It's a great attitude to have as a vaulter. To get past that mental block of having to have your step right on or whatever, Ian doesn't care about that stuff. He just simply vaults. And when I put him in meets, Ian just makes heights. That's all. He just makes heights. He's very dependable that way. You can attest to not the prettiest vaulter in the world, the prettiest form, okay? But he gets the job done. He is a very aggressive vaulter. He will, like I said, he will take up any jump, and he just makes bars. And I love that about Ian. It has been an absolute pleasure to coach Ian, especially coming in new to pole vault. He's a very funny kid. He does things very light at practice. He makes us laugh all the time. But I just love coaching Ian. It's been a real pleasure. So thank you. And then Mason Bartle was our other senior vaulter. I came in with Mason. It was Mason's second year ever in pole vault, my first year at Kimberly. And I won't lie, Mason had probably more bad habits than almost any vaulter I've seen in a while, short of maybe you and Adam. Adam Stage, they had a lot of bad habits, and so it was a real process to try to break some of those bad habits that those guys had developed throughout their freshman year. And as a sophomore, he came in, and I think Mason struggled a little bit at the beginning because I just changed everything. I completely changed everything. And it struggled for him a bit, but Mason's a very persistent athlete. He's very intelligent, but he's an extremely hard worker and very persistent. If success doesn't come for Mason right away, he just keeps at it, and he keeps at it, and he keeps at it, and he keeps working. And eventually him and I have had many long conversations about just keep at this. It's going to come. The form is going to come. And when it goes, it's all going to go at once. And I think, finally it all came together this year. Mason started clearing some higher heights. He cleared 12.6 for the first time about halfway through this season. He started to figure out his swing and how to get that down. And then we were sitting and I love this. It's like one of my favorite stories from this year. Where we were sitting in practice. And I was kind of helping the relays, and I was kind of helping the long jumpers, and I was kind of in a couple different places, and these guys were just warming up. And I was coming back over because they were starting to take their full vaults, and I think the bungee was up at like 14 feet, and because Miles was jumping too, and the bungee was way up there. Also, Mason just comes up and plants, and just like almost clears 14 feet. Like his PR is 12.6. And I'm like, what just happened? Like, who are you? What did you just do? You almost made 14 feet, and he just comes on the ring and goes, oh, really? Huh. And I'm like, what just happened? And he goes, well, I kind of moved my hands forward on my swing, and it just went. And I'm like, well, how did you know how to do that? He goes, well, Miles told me to do it. Miles told me to move my hands forward, and I did, and it worked. I said, I've been telling you that, like, since March. Like, if I had known that all I had to do was have Miles tell Mason to move his hands forward, and that was it. So then we put the bar at 13 feet, and cleared it by like 3 inches. Had a really good meet right after that. He cleared 12.6 for the second time. And then last night, cleared 13 feet, which is his PR, in his last regional meet, and took second at regionals and qualified for sectionals. And it was just an outstanding example of if you keep at it and keep at it and keep at it, just be persistent. Eventually, it's just going to go up once, and last night it just went all at once for him. He just missed that 13.3. I truly believe if he had a fourth vault at it, and they got the 13.3. But I'm really proud of Mason and what he's accomplished and his work ethic. I know his goal was to get 13 feet coming into the year. I'm extremely excited for him for Thursday night, and I'm just really happy that he has stuck it out, and even through the tough grind, that he stuck it out. And I'm really stayed with it and has found success. And I'm really, really proud of him and all of these guys. So great season, vaulters. Thank you, seniors, for everything that you guys have done for our program and this vault group in particular. Leadership that you guys have given them. I smile every time I think about practice and stuff, and I'm really gonna miss you guys. So thank you. I did have one other senior, Adam Stage. Those of you who don't know Adam, he's a lot like extremely hard worker, very smart kid, very strong athlete.